here, and I'll be giving you all the information you need for Student Council. The first thing is that every Wednesday, Student Council will be starting a CHS study hall that is available for every student. These will be Zoom calls that feature different subjects like math, history, English, and science, and many more. These will be done by Student Council members that will help make sure you have everything you need for this school year. This information will be sent to your school emails, or you can find it on our social media at Choctaw HS Stuco. That's Choctaw HS Stuco. The next thing that's coming up is our virtual club rush. Club sponsors will create a Google slide about their club, which will then connect to a QR code. These will be posted around the school, and this information will also be available to EDGE students. And now to Alex with sports.
Thanks, Isabel. Girls softball plays tonight at 7:30 p.m. at Carl Albert High School. Girls volleyball also plays tonight at home against Midwest City at 6 p.m. and it's senior night, so come out and support your 2020 volleyball seniors. You'll find cross-country girls and boys at Carl Albert tomorrow, Friday the 3rd. This week, Mr. Bass caught up with Coach Corbin about their upcoming game in Arkansas. And now to Mr. Bass with the Coach Corbin Show.
All right, welcome to the Coach Corbin Show. This time we're going to be doing a little social distancing, so you can see the difference in our gap here.
Yes.
In the spacing, no Bass, so you can see our faces. So let's just begin with that. What have you had to do this time around? Because I'm sure this is like brand new for every coach around there to implement some new strategy to combat the coronavirus. So what
absolutely. Well, first of all, just glad football's back. Football's back, school's back, being able to see our kids and missed them, and I know they've missed a sense of normalcy, and so we are taking precautions to keep our players and coaches safe and stop the spread. So if a kid comes to football, he's going to be temperature checked. He's going to be wearing a mask indoors. We're going to be socially distanced inside. We're going to limit meetings to less than 15 minutes. All these things that we're taking as precautions to try to keep our kids safe and help the continuation of our season. If you go out to our practice, you'll see that our kids have actual face mask covers to try to limit any type of airborne exposure among each other. And all these kind of things that we're taking again just to try to stop the spread, continue to keep our kids safe and healthy. And if you see us coaches, we'll be wearing masks and and it's a little bit, it's kind of weird at first, but we kind of all got used to it and able to go coach in it. And I wasn't real sure, to be honest, with the heat and all those kind of things, but it hasn't been that bad. And we just, we're gonna do whatever it takes to try to have a season and be able to play the game that we love.
And then when you have to coach with the mask on during the game.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to coach with the mask on during the game, and if you'll see our kids, they'll have the gaiters that we can't wear when we're out, but when we're on the sidelines, they'll have their gaiters on and social distance as much as possible throughout the game.
Okay. Yeah. Let's jump to. There's so many things to cover today.
Sure.
Let's start with your new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Who are some of the people that you brought in this year? Maybe some new faces, some changes going on. What do we got?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with the old face, but this got promotion. Kimes Gilbert is a new offensive coordinator of our staff, doing a great job, and coaching O-line as well. And and he's taken it and run with it and done a fantastic job. We've also brought in Coach Justin Mayhews, former head coach at Western Heights for multiple years, did a great job there. Also a former Choctaw alum. So
nice.
Bring him back, and he's really excited to be back in the fold and be back in Choctaw. Also brought in Coach Trey Porter. Coach Porter, a former standout at Carl Albert High School. Also started multiple years at Texas Tech University. Fantastic with kids and just does such a good job on our staff. Also brought in Coach Anthony Fogel. Coach Fogel's been a successful head coach at multiple different programs. Also started OU, does radio on the franchise and different things like that. And has done a fantastic job for us. Also brought in Coach Matt Vineyard. Brought him up from our middle school staffs to our freshman staff, and Coach Vineyard's done just a tremendous job for us and huge positive impact on our program and kids, and bringing his knowledge and everything. And we've also have a volunteer coach, Jonathan McKnight, that does a great job with our freshman staff as well. And so, some new faces. and exciting. Those guys that come in, I feel like is our strongest staff that we've had. Guys just gelling together and working hard, and the thing they always have in common is a love for kids and a passion for wanting to develop young men. And so you can't say enough good stuff about them. It's just such a good group of men that I'm really, really proud of them, and we've had a blast and looking forward to a great season.
Yeah. All right. So let's before we jump into our first opponent, we talk new faces on the coaching staff. Maybe some new players, not necessarily new,
Right.
but maybe some players that people hadn't seen out in varsity.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think that we're still pretty young on both sides of the ball. So I'll start offensively. Offensively, you'll see sophomore Still Wassel at quarterback. Still played numerous snaps for us as a freshman a year ago and started on the junior varsity. So it was no real surprise that he was named the starter, and he works extremely hard, extremely high football intelligence, extremely athletic, and has done a really, really good job and mature beyond his years as far as being a sophomore. Extremely knowledgeable kid. Look forward to big things from him. Other guys that aren't maybe necessarily new but are get kind of thrust in that starting role is running back C.J. Smith. C.J. got a lot of carries for us a year ago. Kind of a big play in a bottle, waiting, and when he gets a ball and he's able to cut it loose, no one's catching him. And a slasher and does a great job. Real physical runner, never loses yards, and can also run through you and run past you. Another kind of newcomer is sophomore Latrell Ray at running back as well, and they provided a really good 1-2 punch at running back, and Latrell can make you miss, and is really, really physical for his size and has done a great job. Old faces at receiver that are old but glad they're back is Chase Jackson at outside receiver. Chase led the state in receiving yards and touchdowns a year ago. He kind of thrust upon the scene and did just a fantastic job. And offers started piling in for him and continue to. The TCU commit, and look for huge things for him in his senior year, and just continuing on the path that he's been on as being the most dominant receiver in the state. And on the other side, we have Wes Ziegler. Wes started for us a year ago. Wes is back again, and Wes may be the fastest kid in the state. Has really kind of come along, continued to develop his craft and gotten bigger and even faster and stronger and just more confident in all those things going into a senior year. Look for a huge season out of him. R.J. Jackson's back. R.J. Jackson's a 15-year-old veteran. He's started for us as a freshman a year ago, and he's back and bigger and stronger and more mature. And although he's just a sophomore, you feel like he's been around just because he's started since he's so young.
Right.
Look for him to have a huge season. We had in our scrimmage the other night against Mustang, he had a huge game. Catching multiple touchdown passes and doing a great job. Kind of total newcomers to the football program are Terrell Davis at inside receiver. Terrell, basketball star here for Coach Simpson, does a great job, and love watching him and other guys on the basketball court. And he's came over, made a really fast transition in football, and done a tremendous job, and had multiple receptions the other night in scrimmage, and started showing out really early. And then also Jackson Pritchett, another basketball star, has come over football, done a great job, and look for him to get substantial playing time as well at the receiver spot. And so those guys doing a great job. Offensive line, you got new guys like Gabe Gaines, Alton Robinson, Chip Butler, amongst others that are coming in and doing a really, really good job. Moved Davin Evans over from defense to offense, and he's picking up really well, doing a great job. And then got a 3 returner, Cade McConnell. It's going to be is a junior, but has started for us since he's a freshman as well. So you feel like he's been around for a long time, and a veteran, even though he's just a junior. Defensively, got a lot of guys back from a year ago. D-line, Alex Davidson, Aaron McCaffrey, Deshaun Brown doing a great job at the defensive line. Julius Pruitt's done a great job and letting his motor run. He's a huge motor kid and effort guy, and does a great job for us. Moved Donnie Wingate from D-line to inside linebacker, and he's doing really well. Him along with Ethan Rohn and Spencer Bowles, I think that we have the most athletic and fastest and most physical linebacker group that we've ever had, and it's not even close. And look for huge things for those guys. And then our secondary is second to none, and be by far the best secondary we've had. And I don't want to upset any old alumni, but my guess is the best that Choctaw's ever had in the history of the school. And so look forward to those guys flying around with obviously OU commit Jordan Mukes, Chris Parker, Gabe Lopez, Reed DeQuazy, Rob Ellis, amongst others, and that have just really come in and done a fantastic job of being physical, smart, communicating well, and just looked for huge things for those guys this season. And so you hate leaving any guys out that we did, but just guys that we look for making huge marks this year.
Yeah.
And we're really, really fast, really athletic, and big and physical team. And so we want to play for a lot of reasons, but we want to play and we're ready to go.
Right, nice. So speaking of playing, first game, we know scheduling was a little challenging with the new districts, and so we're going to go out and go to Springdale, Arkansas.
Correct.
So most people don't know much about Springdale, Arkansas football. So tell us a little bit about that squad and their tradition, because I know they've been pretty powerful.
Yeah. Springdale, Arkansas, is Northwest Arkansas. They're 7A there. Obviously, we just go up to 6A in Oklahoma, but they're a large classification there. Have good history producing really talented players throughout time. They're always well coached. Games will be well attended. They have good fan base, all those kind of things. Cool stadium, that we'll get to go play in, and all those things that make it meaningful, and make it a lot of fun to be able to go and be around. We're able to sell 350 tickets to the game. Obviously limited because of COVID-19, and we hope to obviously have all 350 in the stands, and ready to go and masked up and loud. And I tell our fans, just because you're wearing a mask doesn't mean that you can't be loud.
Right.
So bring the noise on Friday, and we look forward to a big crowd.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that they're known for team-wise? Running team, passing team.
Yeah, Springdale's more of a running team. They're a big physical O-line. They want to be able to run the ball. Defensively, they're big and fast on defense, and so they'll run the ball well and coach really well, and it'll be a tough challenge for us, and we look forward to it. We like to have an opportunity to go play out-of-state teams. That's something I don't think many schools have in the history of Choctaw, maybe if ever, to do that. So we're able to go play, Springdale, Arkansas, have Van Buren, Arkansas come here next week for our first home game, and then go back to historic Greenwood, Arkansas, which is one of the top powers in the state of Arkansas, multiple state championships.
So
look forward to those kind of challenges.
Is the goal to win a Oklahoma State championship and an Arkansas State championship?
We love to be dual state champs, if we can do it. So we got to take it one step at a time and start with Springdale this week, and hopefully go play well and beat those guys, and and move on to check off the next one and move on. But we love to be able to be dual state champs, and in the meantime continue to improve and get better.
Yeah. All right. Well, me and Mr. Crowder will be there. Maybe the two of us. So we're not going to take any kids across state line for this one. But since it's later, we had it planned. But since it's later, we're going to stay the night for us, not driving back. But so that way, everybody at home can see the game live as it's going, and then and hopefully we'll come back and tell you how everything went in our victory.
Yes. Let's talk about a win when we come back.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's the
All
plan.
right.
That's our hope.
All right. Thanks, Coach. And we'll see you guys at the game.